Okay.
Hello and welcome inside Platte Arena as tonight the 21st ranked Huntington University Foresters take on the Cougars of Spring Arbor. Hi folks, I'm Victor McCarty alongside the Logan Hunt. First off, Logan, how are you doing on this chilly night? I think we have a winter ice advisory out right now, so at least we're not on the East Coast. But secondly, how do you think tonight's matchup will go?
Well, I'm doing all right. We just got back into classes and working out my schedule and everything, and it seems like my schedule's going to be all right. I hope yours is too. For this second semester.
Just doing my victory lap now. My last semester.
Well, with the winter ice advisory and everything coming in, I'm glad we're inside here, Platte Arena, because it's going to get hot in here. That's H-O-T. It's going to be a whole lot of fun with Spring Arbor trying to gain their second Crossroads League match or win, and the Foresters looking to hold on at home and stay in the top 25.
Yes, Logan, head-to-head, the Foresters are currently riding a 12-game win streak over the Cougars, with the most recent win a 56-44 decision back on December 3rd. And looking at leading scores of both teams, of course, we have Miranda Palmer at the top for the Foresters, just under 20 points per game. I might as well give it to her at 19.9. And then Amelia Recker and Kelsey Hubble have 17 and 12 respectively. And then looking at the Cougars, we have Townsley, Conkle, and Mabry, 15, 11, and 10. Not as high as the Foresters, but if you look at the stats for the Cougars, we have Burnside with 23 blocks and three-pointers total at Conkle for 56. I mean, that has to give us something for the Cougars.
Like you said, Conkle, a big-time shooter for Spring Arbor. She's taken 172 three-pointers this season. She's shooting a great 33% from the three-point line. That's a key figure that the Foresters are going to have to watch out for. But looking at scoring in the matchups in the last meeting, Huntington and Spring Arbor did a fairly good job of keeping the Foresters at a low field goal percentage. They only shot 32%. Amelia Recker went 3 for 12, but also had a great night when she went 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Miranda Palmer was only 5 for 15, and Kelsey Hubble was 2 for 12. The star that night was Courtney Baker with 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists in the last time these two teams met at Spring Arbor, with the Foresters getting a 56-44 victory.
Well, speaking of Courtney Baker, she led the Foresters in scoring this past weekend, but they were not able to come out on top against Marion once again. So Foresters, unfortunately, 0-2 against Marion this year, but they did come up with the upset win against St. Francis last week. So, I mean, that was a big highlight for their season thus far, and that will be a key point looking at the rest of the season, the Crossroads League, this very tough Crossroads League, as we look at the Crossroads League standing now. At the top, we have, of course, 6th-ranked Indiana Wesleyan, IWU, 19-3, 10-0 in the Crossroads League. A great feat by any team. And number 10, Marion. 7th, St. Francis. Receiving votes this week, Goshen. And then Huntington, we're sitting right there with Taylor. We could flip-flop with them at any point right now going at the end of the season. Huntington sitting at 21st. So it'll depend if they beat Taylor and Goshen going in at the later half of the season, if they host a game going into conference tournament play.
Well, we know the Foresters have Spring Arbor tonight. Spring Arbor, like I said, down there towards the bottom with Mount Vernon Nazarene. The Foresters take on Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon Nazarene this week. Mount Vernon obviously will be on Saturday, so the Foresters can score those two key victories, get past 500 in the Crossroads League. Like you said, they could surpass Goshen and even Taylor. And who knows, Huntington could be right up in there with the mix with St. Francis again for one of those top 3 spots.
And if they get into the top 4, then I'm sure we'll be seeing them back in Sioux City come national tournament time. And we spoke about Amelia Recker a little bit, but just to mention her free throw percentage, she's number 1 in the nation right now at 91%. Leading the Foresters, who are also number 1 in the country at free throw percentage at 82%. So a great free throw percentage team. I'm sure that the Cougars will not want to get into foul trouble and send the Foresters to the extra charity mark line. So well, we've talked about tonight's matchup a little bit. Now let's get to know the team.
senior, Newcastle High School.
Amelia Recker, junior, Arlington High School.
Miranda White, freshman, Fremont High School.
Gina Eisenhut, sophomore, Bluffton High School.
Kelsey Hubble, junior, Pendleton Heights.
Miranda Palmer, sophomore, Arcadia High School.
Brooke Yoder, freshman, Westview High School.
Jacqueline Bonema, junior, Ileana Christian.
Alexis Rockwell, freshman, Belmont High School.
Allison Trout, sophomore, Huntington North.
Amelia Eschman, senior, Downers Grove North High School.
Lacey Dietrich, sophomore, Faith Christian.
We'll take a break here on FDN Sports, part of the Forrester Digital Network. Once again, I am Victor McCarty alongside the one and only Logan Hunt on call tonight for this matchup between the 21st ranked Foresters and Spring Arbor Cougars.
And bow your heads as I lead us in a word of prayer prior to tonight's contest. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to compete. We thank you for these two fine schools, these two represented squads, and the wonderful game of basketball. We ask that you keep everybody safe, allow the competition and the skill to rise, and that we may honor you in all that we do this evening. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the administration here at Huntington University and the athletic department, it is indeed a privilege to welcome the Cougars of Spring Arbor University and their fine fans this evening.
Back here on FDN Sports, now getting ready for the starting lineup. First half, we have the Cougars of Spring Arbor starting at guard number 3, Carly Bender. She's a sophomore. Also at guard number 14, Jessica Mabry Jr. At guard number 21, Kylie Townsley, sophomore. Forward/center, number 24, Lindsay Burnside. She's one of the two starting seniors. And the other senior, starting at guard, number 32, Leanne Porter. Who do you like from here, Logan?
Well, Kylie Townsley seems to be the go-to lady for the Cougars. However, last game against Goshen, Spring Arbor went to double overtime and lost 100-98. Townsley had 18 points off a 7 for 21 shooting. You have to watch out for her presence.
Yes, indeed, Logan. And now we will look at the starting lineup for the Foresters women's basketball team. Starting at guard number 2, the electrifying sophomore, Miranda Palmer. Also at guard number 3, Kelsey Hubble. At guard number 4, one half of the seniors on this Forester squad, Courtney Baker. And at center, number 10, Jacqueline Bonema. And at forward, number 20, Amelia Recker.
Well, you gotta like what you see out of Courtney Baker and Amelia Recker and Miranda Palmer. Those are always the good, strong, steady three for the Foresters. And in the last matchup against the Marion Knights, it was a loss for Huntington. Courtney Baker led the way with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Palmer and Recker both struggled a bit. Palmer was 2 for 6 from the field. Recker 1 for 6. Recker's been in a slump ever since the St. Francis game. So look for Amelia Recker to try to come out and get some easy buckets to start this ball game.
Recker and Palmer both want to start the game on fire, as you just said, Logan. I bet Spring Arbor looked at the tape from the Marion game as the Foresters, you just said, both Palmer and Recker were in sort of a slump. Palmer shot 2 of 6 and Recker was 1 of 6, and that's not where the Forester star players want to be. I'm sure they're going to come out of the gate here with a little bit of redemption in mind.
Well, you got to think that's what is in their mind. It'll be Bonema and Burnside to tip off here at Platt Arena, and we are underway with Hubble coming up with the tip. She'll kick it out to Baker. Baker in the corner to Hubble for 3. Off the front iron, no good. Townsley with the board. She will get it to Mabry. Mabry to Benders. As we see the Cougars passing around, Townsley has it. She'll drive right side, pump fake. Have to kick it back out to Mabry. Palmer on her. Porter with the ball, swings it to Townsley. Townsley, the move inside, spin move not there. Burnside with the offensive board and put back for 2.
I like the job by Burnside, sitting at home, getting the rebound. And that's what I would like to see out of the Foresters on the opposite end of the court when Hubble tried to go for the early 3 and then missed. You got to get those rebounds, but a great job by Palmer there, driving to the basket. As I said, redemption is on her mind tonight.
What a great behind-the-back move there from Palmer for 2 to give the Foresters their first points. It'll be Townsley with the ball, getting Baker on her heels. She'll kick it to Burnside for a mid-range J. That drops.
Burnside showing some versatility right now. Not only be able to get done underneath the basket, but some jump shooting being showcased as well.
Palmer going to hand off to Baker. She'll get it back up top to Hubble. Palmer finds up with the ball. She'll kick it down low to Bonema. Can't quite handle the pass. That's going to be a steal for the Cougars. Here comes Mabry. She'll drive in, kick out to Bender, up top to Townsley. Bender back with the ball, Hubble on her. She'll get it to Porter. Mabry with the fake. She'll go in, go up for 2, and it's blocked out of bounds by Bonema.
I gotta tell you what, Logan, right out of the gate, I feel like the Cougars have come out with a little bit more oomph to their step, and the Foresters, they're kind of caught asleep right now, but as we've said time and time again, and as we've seen time and time again, they're more of a second half team. We'll see how this game progresses. As Courtney Baker comes up with a steal, rise, I say they're falling asleep, so I think they might have just woke up.
As you said, Baker with the steal, and she gets it up quickly. Pump fake, she'll drive in for 2, off the glass, that's in. We're tied at 4. Mabry bringing it up for the Cougars. Townsley with it, she'll pump fake, get it to Porter. Porter will throw it in to Bender. Bender driving on Hubble. She'll dish out to Porter. Townsley now with it, she'll take a long 3. That's off the front rim, no good. Board goes to Bonema. Baker with the ball. She'll hand off to Palmer on the far side. Palmer going down to Recker, posting up on Porter. Recker gonna kiss that one off the glass, and the Foresters take the lead for the first time tonight.
I think what we've seen so far, Logan, might be foreshadowing what we'll see for the rest of the night, and that is a lot of fighting inside the trenches, underneath the basket, within the paint. Both of these teams quite good within that realm.
We're going to see a full court press coming from the Cougars. Recker's going to inbound. She can't move the baseline, but she'll get it to Hubble. Hubble bringing it up court. Draws the double team. She'll find Baker. Now the Foresters will reset offensively. Palmer going to get the pass. She'll get it to Hubble. Hubble over to Baker. Baker between the legs. She'll drive in right side. Dish down low to Bonema. Up for 2, and that's good.
It was an open lane for Courtney Baker and a wise decision to pass it off to Jacqueline Bonema right there to set up against the rim.
Mabry with the ball. She'll throw it away as Baker comes up with yet another steal, her second of the game. Baker going to find Hubble. Hubble going to take a 2. That's no good. Offensive board goes to Bonema. Kick to Palmer for 3. That's off the front rim, no good. Burnside with the board.
I said every game, Logan, and will be no surprise. Hubble shot, just the highest arching shot I have ever seen. And now, once again, Cougars come right back, being down by 2 right now.
Burnside nearly tying her season average. She has all 6 points already for the Cougars. She only averages 7 points a game during the season. So we see the Cougars moving now to a 2-3 zone. Baker has the ball. She'll get it to Palmer at the top of the key. Palmer find Hubble into Recker. Recker tries threading the needle down low. She's going to get the ball back. Now she dishes out to Palmer. Baker going to take a mid-range J, and that falls for her.
A beautiful shot hitting right inside the nets for Baker. I'm surprised there weren't any fouls being called on the Cougars right there, as they were all over Recker, but that's just great defense right there by the Cougars.
Burnside with the ball, gets the switch with Hubble. Jab step, she'll go up. She gets it blocked by Kelsey Hubble. And now it's the Foresters going the other way.
All ball by Hubble, and her teammates almost left her stranded on the opposite end of the court. It was good realization where the ball was. And now Recker, in and out.
And a nice tip out there from Bonema to get it into the hands of Baker, who will take the calls from Coach Kohler yelling from the sideline. Baker dribbling right side into Recker for 2. Recker can't quite get that to fall. And it's Townsley bringing it the other way. Gets it to Porter, Burnside with it. Mabry now spinning in the lane, throwing it down to Burnside, up for 2 with the lefty layup, and that drops. Burnside has all 8 points already for Spring Arbor. Foresters on top 10-8 with just over 14 minutes remaining. Hubble going to take the long 3, and it banks in for Kelsey Hubble.
Someone taste the rainbow, because that shot right there looking as long as a rainbow, and we will see a kick of the ball. But again, I can't stress enough, Logan, how high arching Hubble's shot is. It matches me each time, and that time, she missed earlier with her high arching shot, but that one almost went out as well, but finding its way inside for the pot of gold.
Well, she must have swiped her American Express gold card after that. At the very end of that high arcing rainbow, she banking that one home. You gotta like the first 3-pointer from Kelsey Hubble, and the first one of the game coming off of a bank, as we saw her kind of shake her head coming back down the court. But that goes without mentioning Kelsey Hubble's block on the other end on Burnside. The only person who's been able to stop Burnside was Kelsey Hubble with a mismatch, and you have to like the active hands we've seen the Foresters having, already 2 blocks and 2 steals, and that's ultimately why the Foresters are up by 5 at this first media timeout.
And I think something that aids to that is that the Cougars have 3 turnovers. So early in the game, 13:57 to play still here in the first, but you never want to have too many turnovers. And a good thing is that both teams still have their timeouts. Last week in the St. Francis game, we saw the coach taking a lot of timeouts early on, and that kind of led to be his downfall later on. So we'll see how this game progresses. This media timeout was brought to you by the Huntingtonian, our newspaper affiliate here on campus. You can follow them on Twitter at Huntingtonian.
We're going to see Allison Trout not going to enter the ballgame. Didn't quite make it to the scores table in time. It's going to be Conkle coming in. She'll get it to Mayberry. Mayberry over to Conkle. Pump fake, but she will be called for the travel. And now we'll see Allison Trout come in for Jacqueline Bonema. On the floor for your Foresters, it's Recker, Baker, Hubble, Trout, and Palmer. On the floor for the Cougars, it's going to be Porter, also Johnson, Townsley, and Conkle.
I like the lineup for the Foresters right now. It's a smaller and faster lineup, and whenever those two combinations hit for the Foresters, it usually leads to a win.
We see Palmer go with the left hand. That's no good. Here comes Johnson the other way, the freshman. She'll dish it back out to Townsley. Townsley going down low. It's swatted away by Baker. Johnson going to come up with a loose ball, and she'll shoot that one up and in for 2.
An awkward shot off by number 12, getting a rebound from the block by Courtney Baker. So just a great presence of mind in order to finish the play.
It's going to be Trout with the ball, driving over, gets it to Hubble in the corner. Hubble will go back down to Trout, down low, up on the left block. She'll get that left-handed layup to drop. 15-10, Foresters on top, 12:50 remaining in the first half. Cougars coming the other way. Porter with the ball, she'll get it to Johnson on the left elbow. Over to Townsley in the corner for a long 2, that's no good. Strong box out by Palmer, she'll get the rebound. Palmer coming the other way, throws it to Hubble on the wing. She'll get it to the right elbow to Wrecker. Back to Hubble in the corner for 3. Splish, splash, Kelsey Hubble drilling her second 3 of the night.
Nothing but net for Hubble with her high arching shot.
Mayberry coming right inside and losing it out of bounds. I'm going to say it went off her thigh and out. So another turnover for the Cougars. It's going to be Trout inbounding to Baker. Foresters with an 8-point advantage. And we see the 1-3-1 defense from the Cougars. Hubble with the ball in the corner, swing pass to Palmer and the left wing for 3. That rolls around and out. Mayberry with the board. Mayberry bringing it up. Man-to-man defense from the Foresters. Townsley with the ball, driving right side, pump fake. And she's going to throw this one almost away. Baker coming up with the steal now. She'll go coast to coast, up for 2. Kissing that one off the glass. And the Foresters now with a 10-point advantage over the Cougars.
Again, I'm surprised that wasn't a foul called on Mayberry, as it was a blatant push. But again, I love the refs just letting them play.
Well, we see Conkle taking a long 3. We know she can shoot, but she's going to miss that one. Baker almost traveling. She'll have to get it down quickly to Trout, who misses the easy layup. And Porter getting the ball, hitting it off the head of Conkle. Mayberry will get the ball now.
We're seeing unusual play thus far, Logan.
Mayberry taking it right down low, then dishing out to Conkle. Conkle with the pump fake. She has it poked away by Baker. And Baker coming up with her 4th steal of the night. Baker coming up. She'll throw it in the corner to Palmer for 3. That's good from Miranda Palmer. And a timeout called by Spring Arbor with the Foresters on top 23-10 with 10:53 remaining in this first half.
I look over at the timeout being called by Spring Arbor, and the head coach, Ryan Frost, he's just looking at his team and is like, what are you doing? And I got to ask the same question to him right now. They have 7 turnovers in just under 10 minutes of play here in the first half. That is not a good combination for any team. And then if you look at it, field goal percentage, I mean, it's not that bad. They're shooting 45%, whereas Foresters 55. But the threes is what's killing the Cougars right now, where they're 0 for 2, and the Foresters are 3 of 6. I mean, with no fouls in this game thus far, which to me is a surprise, but a good thing for the Cougars, that shoot the threes is what's going to win the game.
It definitely is. We've seen the Foresters hitting a few threes already. As we come back to the action, it'll be Bender bringing it up for the Cougars. She'll get it to Conkle on the near side. Conkle going down low to Gogan. Gogan putting up the 2. That's no good. Palmer with the board. Palmer dribbling up left side. 2-3 zone out of the Cougars as Courtney Baker will get the pass. She'll go back up top. She'll find Hubble. Hubble swing pass to Baker. And now Trout finds herself with the ball in the low block. She'll dish back out to Hubble for 3. That's off the rim and no good. Townsley with the board. Bender coming the other way. And it'll be the Cougars moving the ball around. Townsley going to step in just inside 3-point line and take a long 2, and that will drop for her. That will end the drought from the Cougars as now they switch to a 2-3 zone. Palmer gonna throw cross court to Hubble. Hubble right back to Palmer. Palmer driving left side, gets double teamed, and the ball poked out of bounds, and the Foresters will retain possession. Up 23-12 with 9:50 remaining in this first half.
Another key that's helping the Foresters right now is that they have 9 points off a turnover, as we'll see Coach Culler take her first time out as well. But as I said, Logan, 9 points off of turnovers. We're at 7 turnovers by the Cougars right now. And then bench scoring, both have 2 apiece. But the thing that's also killing the Cougars is 12 points in the paint by the Foresters. So I mentioned that 3-point shooting is what's going to win the game for the Foresters. But right now, they might not have to take it anymore if they keep on winning inside the paint.
Well, the Foresters shooting 53% from the field, and that has to be what has given them the 11-point advantage. Like you said, they're scoring inside and out. They've hit a pair of threes already, but they've also broken that 2-3 zone and gotten it down to Trout, Recker, and Bonema on the low post.
One thing the Cougars will have to do without their leading scorer of the game right now, Burnside with 8, is they just have to move the ball around better.
Hubble inbound from the sideline. She gets to Baker. And we see the Cougars moving back now to a man-to-man defense. Baker gonna get it to Palmer. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Palmer, step back, driving in now, baseline, reverse layup, off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound and goes up, and she will be fouled. It'll be Miranda Palmer going to the line to shoot 2. The foul will be on Kylie Townsley. That's going to be her first and the game's first. We're already past the halfway mark in this first half. Palmer able to drill her first free throw attempt. As we know, Palmer a great free throw shooter on the year, shooting 87%. We'll also see Amelia Eschman entering the ball game for Allison Trout and the Foresters. Palmer able to hit the second free throw as well.
Well, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, when we might attest throughout the rest of this game as well, Logan, is that with Palmer's great free throw percentage, it only adds to the number 1% free throw percentage in the country by the Foresters as the Cougars try to add more life to the game.
We see the made shot from Faith Johnson. Now it's the Foresters coming the other way. Courtney Baker driving in, getting fouled by Carly Bender and almost getting an and one opportunity. Her shot rolling around and out. So Courtney Baker will be the Forester going to the line to shoot 2. It's going to be Carly Bender's first foul. Baker able to hit her first free throw. Baker was 1 of 2 from the line in the last game against Marion. So we'll see Baker throwing their second one up, and that's good as well. 27-14, Foresters on top, 9:12 remaining in this first half.
And I gotta say that I like the chess match being played by Lori Culler right now, whereas Burnside comes back in for the Cougars. So Culler sends in one of her own in Amelia Eschman. And a wild play of events right there as the Cougars once again get some points inside the paint, being down by 11 right now.
We saw Burnside take a 3 and Eschman able to get her hand on it, but the Cougars were there for the putback. And now Palmer will have the ball for the Foresters. She'll drive in the middle, go up for 2, off the rim, no good. Burnside coming up with the board. She'll get it to Bender. Bender gets it up to Conkle. She's looking to push. She'll drive in, dish out to Johnson for a mid-range. That's off the front rim, no good. Eschman with the board, and she'll get it to Baker. And here comes Baker running for the Foresters. She'll get it to Palmer. Palmer taking a long 2 from the corner. That's no good. She gets the offensive board, however, and she'll kick it back out to Baker, who will slow things down.
I would love to see a whole game of basketball just played by the fingertips. The last couple possessions here, it's only been by the fingertips, and it would add an extra fun element to the game.
It definitely would. So we see Hubble driving right side, goes up for 2 and is fouled. She'll be fouled by Carly Bender. That will be her second foul and the team's third of this half. Hubble will go to the line to shoot 2. Hubble more of a three-point shooter, but she can go to the line and hit them when she needs to. As we see her hitting her first free throw attempt. We'll see Allison Trout enter the ball game again. This time, Miranda Palmer will take a breather for the Foresters. And Hubble drilling the second one to make it 29-16. 7:50 remaining. And that will take us to our second media timeout of the game, the under 8 media timeout. And Victor, with the Foresters leading 29-16, seems like they're hitting everything. What would you do if you're Spring Arbor in this situation, down by 13 on the road?
Well, first off, I'd like to apologize to Cougars because I think I might have jinxed them in saying that there were no fouls at a certain point in a given game. And then after I said that, there's 3 now and a couple more free points added to the Foresters score. So I apologize to the Cougars on that. But what I think they might have to do now is, well, go away from the man-to-man defense, maybe go to the zone, the 2-3, because the Foresters, they've been able to answer against the man quite well. And usually in the man defense, you don't want to allow very many points within the paint. But again, still 12 points in the paint by the Foresters as opposed to, even though it has improved, only 8 by the Cougars. So I would like to see them go towards more of the zone, but don't leave any lanes open for either Courtney Baker or Miranda Palmer.
Palmer and Courtney Baker have been getting inside and doing a very good job of it, getting to the free throw line as well. Foresters already taking 6 free throws. Cougars not attempting any. As we come out of the timeout, it's going to be Mayberry bringing the ball up for the Cougars. Down 13. Conkle will get it on the left wing. She'll swing it up to Johnson on the top of the key. She'll find Mayberry on the right wing. Back up top now to Gogan. Gogan to Conkle, and now a traveling violation against Conkle. And another turnover for the Cougars.
And once again, Cougars just beating themselves, adding another turnover. That's 8 turnovers here in the first half.
Back to man-to-man defense from the Cougars as Baker brings it up. She'll get it to Trout in the corner for 3. It's off the back rim, no good. Eschman with the board, she'll go up. That's not good. Recker with the board, she'll shoot the layup, and she can't get it to fall. And the ball will go out of bounds after that, and Foresters will keep possession.
Although I do like the refs just letting him play. I think that might have been a foul on Burnside as her arm just came right down on Recker's face. And now the Cougars will come away with the ball.
Hubble throwing the ball away on the inbound. Mayberry brings it up. She'll get it to Burnside. Burnside trying to force it down low, and it'll be kicked away by Baker. And that'll be a kickball violation against the Foresters.
Well, Burnside should know better than to aim for the foot of Baker because she is one of the Foresters' soccer star, and she is not afraid to kick it. She had a lot of goals on her senior night during soccer season, so that's just not something to do in the game of basketball.
We see Johnson taking a long 3. That's no good. Loose ball tracked down by Courtney Baker. And like you mentioned, Courtney Baker had a hat trick on her senior night. So what a better way to go out on your soccer senior night by getting a hat trick. As now we see Kelsey Hubble. She will come out. Miranda Palmer will come in for her. Hubble limping just a little bit, so we hope the best for Kelsey Hubble. She'll get attended to by the trainers.
Well, the good thing for the Foresters right now is that with their 13-point lead, Hubble can take a break and trainer can see what is exactly wrong with her foot.
Trout with the ball on the right side. She gets caught down low and will lose it. It'll be Conkle coming up with the steal. She'll get it to Mayberry. Mayberry driving in, dish to Burnside for a long 2. That's no good. Rebound goes to Palmer. She'll get it quickly to Baker. The Foresters running the floor. Trout getting on the right side. She'll drive left side. Dish to Eschman from the baseline, and Eschman hitting the baseline J for 2.
Well, the Cougars, they have turned it up, but once again, with them not hitting their shots and turning over the ball, that is not aiding themselves right now. And I have to say, I would rather them go to the zone defense instead of the man, because once again, that left Recker wide open. That left Eschman wide open.
It'll be Miranda Palmer with the ball now for the Foresters. Foresters lead 31-16. 5:45 remains in the first half. Recker getting the pass down low, airballing the layup, and Conkle comes up with the rebound. Cougars bringing it the other way. Johnson with it on the right side. And she will throw it away. Miscommunication, Mabry, and that'll be Baker coming up with another steal. She'll find a wide open Trout from the wing, and Trout lets the three go. That's good from Allison Trout, and that will force another timeout from Coach Frost and the Spring Arbor Cougars, with the Foresters leading 34-16 with 5:21 remaining in the first half.
Well, I would say the Foresters are playing a flawless game right now, but in order to be flawless, then you have to be hitting every shot. And I got to say they are shooting only 44% from the field, Logan. So that might have some room for it. But no, I'm joking. The Foresters are doing a great game right now. 44% from the field, 44% from the three, and 100% from the line. Spring Arbor, though, no threes, 0 of 5. And they have not gone to the line yet. Foresters have not committed any fouls, so they're perfect on that rim. Rebounds-wise, only 3 rebounds offensively for the Cougars, whereas the Foresters, 15 rebounds total, 6 offensively, 9 defensively. So the Cougars, as we mentioned in the pregame, the Foresters, as we mentioned in the pregame, they wanted to redeem themselves after the loss against Marion, and that will be a much-needed redemption tonight if it still holds true in this very tough Crossroads League.
Well, out of the timeout, it's going to be Palmer, Baker, Recker, Eschman, and Trout on the floor for the Foresters. For the Cougars, be Burnsides, Gogan, Townsley, Mabry, and Johnson. 5:21 remains. Foresters up by 18 here inside Platt Arena. Mabry will bring the ball up for the Cougars. Cougars passing the ball around the perimeter. Johnson now gets it to Burnside. She's met out top by Eschman. Eschman getting a block on Burnside. And Baker bringing the ball up court for the Foresters. She gets it to Trout. Trout will have her pocket picked by Mabry, and the Cougars coming the other way. Mabry finds a lane, drives in for 2. That's no good. Rebound goes to Trout. And now Baker slowing things down for the Foresters.
The thing about Burnside's shot is that she hesitated, and that left it wide open for Eschman to get the block. The Cougars, they have to play with a little bit more confidence, as Palmer just earned her confidence right there with that huge step back 3.
What a step back 3 that was by Palmer to extend the lead to 21 for the Foresters. It'll be Townsley with the ball with the Cougars. She'll get it to Gogan in the corner for 3. That's off the front rim, no good. Burnside getting the offensive rebound, shoots it way too hard off the glass. And it'll be Recker getting the board and getting it to Baker. Baker picking up a screen up top from Eschman. She'll drive right side, then pull it back out. She picks up her dribble, gets it to Trout in the right corner. Trout getting it back up top to Baker. 15 on the shot clock. Palmer with the ball on the left side. She'll go down low to Eschman. Out up top to Recker for a long 2, and that drops for Amelia Recker.
The thing about the Cougars right now is that they're playing like their backs are against the wall, and that is how you never want to play. You always want to play like the game is tied with you only have 5 seconds left to play and leave your heart out there. And the Cougars, they're just not taking smart shots.
Mabry with a long 2, no good. Townsley coming up with the steal after Recker gets the board, and then Baker steals it from Townsley. Courtney Baker again with a steal. She will bring it up court for the Foresters. She gets it to Recker on the right elbow. Recker going down low on Porter. She goes up for 2, but a charge called on Amelia Recker. And that'll be the Foresters' first foul of this ball game, and that comes with 3:01 remaining in the first half. And we'll see some substitutions from the Foresters. Gina Eisenhut will enter the ball game. Also, Lacey Dietrich will enter. It'll be Amelia Recker and Courtney Baker taking a seat for the Foresters. And we see Mabry bringing it up. She'll take it into the lane, dish out in the corner to Gogan. Gogan going up for two, a floater, and that's good. Palmer will have the ball handling duties for the Foresters with Baker on the bench. Palmer driving left side, pulls it back out, goes down to Eisenhut. Eisenhut will be called for the travel. Great defense there from Leanne Porter and the Cougars.
Well, Lacey Dietrich and Gina Eisenhut, they don't often get time in a game for the Foresters, so they just have to work out those jitters right now as we saw Eisenhut with the travel.
We see Hoffman in the game for the Cougars. She gets it. She'll get it back to Townsley. Townsley will find Mabry. Mabry driving in, gets it swatted by Eschman. And then Trout comes up with the loose ball. She'll get it to Palmer. 2 minutes remain. Foresters up 39-18 over the Cougars. Trout gets the pass and is stolen by Townsley. Townsley gonna lose this one off her foot and out of bounds. And so the Foresters will get possession.
Well, I've got to say, Logan, that I was about to say that the Foresters, they have to have better ball control, but with the Cougars playing the way they are right now, I would have to say that, well, they're going to let themselves do the work for them.
They are going to let that happen. We'll see Trout with the ball now. She gets it to Eisenhut. Eisenhut baseline, picks up her dribble, 10 on the shot clock. She'll get it down to Palmer. Palmer goes up for two. It's no good. Townsley with the board. And Townsley looking to run. She'll drive in for two and will draw the foul. This foul will be on Allison Trout. That'll be Trout's first of the ball game. And Townsley will go to the line for the first time tonight. Townsley, the leading scorer for the Cougars with 15 a game. She also shoots 74% from the free throw line. And we see her drill her first.
Even though she is the leading scorer for the Cougars, that is only her third point of the night.
Force doing a good job keeping her in check so far. Townsley's second free throw attempts up. And that one is good as well. 39-20. We see the full court press coming from the Cougars. Them down 19. 1:25 remains in this first half. Palmer just getting it up in time. And she'll find Trout, who will give it right back to Palmer. A pesky man-to-man defense from the Cougars, who have turned up just a little bit. And at the end of this half, with Townsley coming up with the steal, she'll get it to Mabry. Mabry will drive in. She'll go up for two. That's no good. Rebound goes to Eschman, and now a foul will be called. This one will be on Johnson and Spring Arbor. So that'll be Johnson's first foul and the team's fourth.
Well, I like the Cougars turning it up on defense, playing the man, but once again, I have to say, as we see Kelsey Hubble and Courtney Baker come back into the game for the Foresters, that once again, I would like the Cougars defense to go to more of the zone to prevent the Foresters get that perimeter shooting out of the way.
Just under a minute remains. Foresters with the ball up, and Eschman getting the pass. She will travel on the wing. And just a pesky full court press from the Cougars, forcing that turnover. Mabry bringing it up for the Cougars. She'll get it to Townsley. Townsley over to Porter, back to Mabry in the corner. Mabry up top to Hoffman. Hubble out on her. Hoffman driving in, and she will be fouled. This foul will be on Kelsey Hubble coming underneath her. So Hoffman going to the line for the first time tonight. She's only appeared in 7 games for the Cougars, but she is an immediate scorer with 5 points a game in those 7 that she's been in. She hits her first free throw. We'll see Amelia Recker coming for Gina Eisenhut and the Foresters. So this almost all starters are back on the floor for the Foresters. Eschman with the acceptance in for Bonema. We see Hoffman missing the second one. So only going 50% from the line. And now the Foresters have the ball.
Couple second difference on the shot clock. I look for the Foresters to milk this out as much as possible.
20 seconds remain, but there's 15 on the shot clock. Foresters gonna have to get a shot off here to end the half. Recker gets the ball. She'll get it to Hubble in the right wing. Hubble taking a long three. No good. Eschman with the offensive rebound. Miranda Palmer getting the pass. 5 seconds on the shot, or excuse me, on the game clock. And Palmer throws it up, gets it blocked by Mabry. And that is how the first half will come to an end with your Lady Foresters on top, 39-21.
Some shot clock issues right now before we go into the half, but as you said, Logan, 39-21, Foresters lead, 21st ranked Foresters in the nation. We'll take a break here on FDN Sports, a part of the Forester Digital Network, with commercial break, and then we'll be right back with halftime stats.
Next up we have another blue ticket, 600-882. 882. Okay, don't be bashful. Come on down. 600-882. Oh, he knocks down the free throw. Beautiful. We have our second contestant, and I'm digging deep for the third. The third contestant is 600-830. 600-830. Oh, those free throws are just going down so easy there. 600-830. Appreciate this leadership. Come on over here.
We're back here on FDN Sports, part of the Forester Digital Network. Refs wanting to look at a replay of a three real quick, so we'll take a break from the halftime shootout so they can do so.
It's a $100 gift certificate. Congratulations. Our thanks to Science Etc. and the Huntington Pizza for their support of the Huntington University Student Halftime Shootout.
Right before that. Over here for singular mixture. Breaks it out of the trip. Should have foul right there. 3 points.
Yep, it was a 3.
She's definitely behind one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Plans don't always go the way we want them to, but you're not alone in this adventure called life. Remedy Live is a non-for-profit web station that strives to produce a positive message while helping teens who need it. If we can help you, text the word REMEDY to 313131 or visit our website at remedylive.com to chat with someone there. Remedy Live. We chat, we listen, we love.
Dr. Tanner Babb. I'm an assistant professor of psychology and also the head of the psychology department. Psychology is really a study of the self. It's a study of how our mind works, how we relate to people, friendship, dating, intimacy, conflict, and it's a class that meets college students right where they are. We have a very unique approach to teaching psychology, and I think it's also a very tight-knit program. It's a very close community, and I think a lot of students come to Huntington because they want a lot of individual attention. They want the opportunity to be able to talk with a professor, to build a relationship, and to be able to talk more about their education than just what occurs in class. And because of a lot of our students' specific interests, I mean, with a smaller program, we really do try to tool what students are learning to what they plan to do after they graduate. It's just a blast to teach because I'm able to have conversations with students as they go through relationships, as they struggle with friendships, as they try to figure out family relationships, and it really just hits at the heart of current struggles that they have. And students always leave that class feeling a lot more prepared just to be college students and prepared for the vocations they're going into. So I'm very happy if my students leave Huntington knowing how to integrate their faith with psych, but also feeling very well prepared for fields where they get to work with people.
Being a part of the film department here at Huntington University is amazing. We have brilliant professors who are willing to teach us everything that they've known from being out in the field. First semester last year, I got the opportunity to work on the department film, A Gift of Hope, where we had actual professionals in the field today come and work with Huntington students on a film.
Students here at Huntington University have an opportunity to focus on story, and they discover universal themes that matter to everyone, and they're able to integrate their faith into their filmmaking. This is very unique. It's something special about Huntington. Recently, we took a trip to Chicago for our seniors to be able to cast talent for their senior films. And there was such an array of talent available to them. It's great to be close to such a wonderful urban production center. One of the things that gets me so excited is to see the quality of the student films and how they improve every year. We're sending such strong filmmakers out into the working world, and as their films get better and better, it just excites us to see that level of filmmaking, and this is the most rewarding thing about teaching at Huntington.
What makes the HU music department special, I think, is basically the people that make up the department.
It's like we're one big family. Instead of just friends coming together to sing and do music work, it's more like we're a family, like just brothers and sisters.
Students have an opportunity to bond with one another, being a smaller group. It gives us a chance to interact more closely with the students, to answer all their kinds of questions that might arise.
The professors are really knowledgeable, very talented, and you can tell that they really care about individual students.
We incorporate the community sometimes, so it's really good to get to meet new people from Huntington and throughout the community and just to work with everyone.
The choir performs lots of times out in area churches. The function of what we do here at Huntington is to try to make musicians and also God-honoring musicians.
It's very much a supportive community in the HU music department. So not only are you getting an excellent music education, but you are developing as a person just because you're getting to know all these great people.
The Global Initiatives degree that we're offering is seeking to equip folks who are interested in applying a ministry education to cross-cultural work. So somebody who's looking to do holistic ministry, somebody who's looking to engage in the business for transformation or business as missions model would find some equipping through our Global Initiatives degree.
Our Global Youth Ministries degree is designed to prepare people for leadership in youth ministry, quite simply anywhere in the globe. It's for men and women who are already in youth ministry or for people who are simply preparing to lead youth ministry.
One of the things I like about the pastoral leadership track is that Luke and Karen, who worked on developing it, consulted with church leaders so that people preparing for ministry leadership in the church would have the skills and the knowledge that they need.
Some of what I'd want our program to be known for is being really clear-minded about linking our own program vision with the Lord's vision for His people and for the kingdom. What we want to do is be faithful to that which He's called us to. And some of that would be that we believe that the Church of Jesus Christ is going to be well served when it's populated and led by people who have stories of being reached by Christ and are now being well formed to follow Him no matter what the cost.
And we're back here on FDN Sports, a part of the Forrester Digital Network. 21st ranked Forresters lead the Spring Arbor University Cougars 39-21. Let's take a look at the halftime stats right now as Forresters just, A+ across the board, Logan.
Definitely the Forresters are doing a fantastic job from all ends. I know, obviously, they have a higher field goal percentage. They've hit more free throws, hit more threes, out-rebounded, the whole shebang. But the thing that has surprised me most is the turnovers. Spring Arbor with 11 turnovers, Forresters with 10 turnovers. And for the most part, those have been forced turnovers. They haven't been unforced turnovers. It's really been the other team buckling down defense, getting their hands on the ball, and coming up with some steals and some blocks. We saw in the first half, we saw Courtney Baker already with 6 steals. I mean, how about that? Already 6 steals on the night. Amelia Eschman came in off the bench and already has 3 blocks for the Forresters. I mean, that's completely huge when your 6th man can come in and get 3 blocks like that.
Well, the good thing about the 10 turnovers, if there is a good thing about 10 turnovers for the Forresters, is that a lot of them came at the tail end of the first half when the Forresters already built up their lead, as well as when the Cougars did get the ball, stole the ball away from the Forresters, they were not able to complete their shots. We see that right now, field goal percentage, 32% by the Cougars. The Cougars 0 of 6 from the three-point range, and I alluded to this in the first half, that they need to hit their shots in order to win this game. I mean, it's pretty basic, right? Pretty basic playing right now here inside Platt Arena. So I think the Cougars, they probably talked a lot about the basics at halftime inside the locker room. Both teams out here warming up, but leading the total points right now for both teams, we have Miranda Palmer with 10, and then the leading scorer for the Cougars is Burnside with 8, and you don't usually see her on the top end of the points.
Definitely. Burnside only averages 7 points a game, and already with 8 just in a half, we saw her come out and hit 4 quick, easy shots, and then the Forces really have buckled down on her defensively. Burnside ending 4 for 9 in the half. Something else that's worth mentioning is that Townsley also only has 4 points. The Forces have done a fantastic job locking down the big names in the Crossroads League. We saw last week against St. Francis, Akaya Taylor for St. Francis, the leading scorer in the Crossroads League, was held to nearly no points throughout the whole game for the Foresters. Foresters just do a good job of keying in on one player and locking them down defensively. And I think that comes because of Courtney Baker, Allison Trout, Kelsey Altman. They all like playing defense. That's what Coach Kohler has done a fantastic job of in her whole 29-year career.
I think that's what had faulted the Foresters this past weekend against the Knights, is that the Knights, they've just come out guns blazing this year, and it's not just an individual person that's playing well, it's a whole team effort, and that's what's going to take the Cougars to come back here tonight, is a whole team effort, but they're going to have to be able to move the ball around better and hit their shots.
I couldn't agree more with you, Victor. As we'll see, coming out on the floor for the Foresters, it's the starting five from the first half. Recker, Palmer, Hubble, Baker, and Bonema. Hubble is back out on the floor for the first time since leaving in the first half with an ankle injury. We see her now with a brace on that left ankle. She seems to be walking fine on it, so hopefully she will be all right, and she looks good to go. And on the floor for the Cougars, it's Townsley, Mabry, Burnside, Porter, and Bender, the starting five for the Cougars. Mabry will get the inbound, and we are underway in this second half of play. Man-to-man defense coming out by the Foresters. We see Townsley with the ball in the corner, goes down to Burnside. She'll go up for two and is fouled immediately. So I'll put Burnside to shoot 2 free throws to start out this second half. The foul will be on Jacqueline Bonema. That'll be her first and the team's first.
Sort of a different start to the second half than the first, Logan, as Burnside misses her first.
Burnside is a 47% free throw shooter, shooting 16 for 34 on the season. And so she's looking to try to convert on one of these as she misses both. Bonema with the board. Baker getting it, and she will run it up court. She finds Hubble in the right corner. Now Hubble will dish it back out to Baker at the top of the key. Baker runs in, handoff to Palmer. Palmer gonna drive in left side, now give it back to Baker. Hubble with the ball on the right wing. She'll get it to Bonema on the left elbow. Back to Palmer behind her. Palmer gonna hand off to Recker. Recker on the right elbow, driving in for two, and just a bit too hard off the glass. The Cougars coming the other way. Mabry with it. She'll get it to Bender. Bender out to Porter. Swing pass to Townsley on the left side. Townsley with the pump fake. She'll bounce pass to Bender. Bender drive into an open Burnside, who she'll dish it out to for a long two, and that's no good. Baker get with the board. Goes to the ground, but gets it to Hubble just in time.
Quick reaction time by Baker. Hubble passing in to Bonema. Overshoots, but Recker gets the foul from Burnside.
So Recker with a great offensive rebound. She was in the perfect place where Bonema missed her shot, and Recker goes up, gets fouled, and that is the one lady that you want at the line if you're a Forester, shooting 91%, number one in Division II NAIA. And Recker staying true to form and drilling the first one. Like we said, that foul was on Burnside. That's her first. And we'll see Recker kissing the bottom of the net with that one. Mabry bringing it up for the Cougars. She'll get it to Bender on that right side. Up on the elbow to Burnside. Burnside trying to drive in and loses the ball. Palmer got a hand on it. Now Foresters and Cougars on the ground for the ball, and it will be a jump ball call. And that will favor the Foresters. Full court press being set up by the Cougars. It'll be Hubble to inbound from the baseline. She gets it to Baker. Baker's quick enough to outrun this double team, but she'll pass it to Hubble. Hubble gets it up to Recker past half court, and Recker will get it right back safely to Hubble. Hubble driving right side, dish to Baker. Baker back to Hubble, down low to Recker on the low block. Recker going to work. Gonna do an up and under, but kick it back out to Palmer at the top of the key. She'll get it to Baker in the corner. Baker to Bonema, switching over to Hubble. One on the shot clock. Bonema getting the pass, just getting it off. No good, but Bonema gets the offensive rebound, and it'll go back out to Baker to reset the offense. Baker going backdoor to Palmer on the right side. Palmer dribbling around, dish to Baker on the perimeter. Baker gonna drive in with a floater. It's no good. Bonema with the offensive rebound. She'll get it to Palmer. Palmer gets in, then give and go to Bonema, up and in for two.
Third time's the charm after 3 possessions. Foresters finally able to find the net.
We see Mabry take it in, and she is fouled. That will be, I believe, Kelsey Hubble coming up with the reach-in foul. So that will be Kelsey Hubble's second foul of this ball game. Foresters on top, 43-21. 17:32 remains in this ball game. Townsley gets the inbound. She'll get it out to Porter, who will find Burnside on the right baseline. Burnside with the pump fake. Bonema not biting. Now she gets it to Mabry, who gets it stolen away by Baker, driving in. Baker coming the other way, gonna get it to Hubble for a long 2 from the left side. That's just a bit too hard. Burnside comes up with the board. Mabry will get the pass and bring it up. She gets it to Porter, gets it back to Burnside on the elbow. Townsley gets it up top. She'll get a screen from Burnside, drive in right side, and is fouled on her way up. This foul will be on Jacqueline Bonema. So I will put Townsley to the line to shoot 2 for the second time tonight. That's Bonema's second foul of this ball game. Townsley able to hit the first, staying perfect from the line tonight. So now we'll see Johnson, Faith Johnson, enter the ball game for Burnside and the Cougars. Townsley gonna get the second free throw up, and that rolls around and out. Baker with the rebound. Courtney Baker running it up court and then pulling it back out at the three-point line. She'll pass it to Recker, and left side to Hubble. Hubble gets it up top to Palmer, swings it right side to Baker. Baker throwing to Hubble, and a foul called on Townsley on the reach-in. And that will bring Allison Trout into the ball game for Jacqueline Bonema. So the Foresters going to go with a smaller lineup here in the second half.
That's the same thing they did in the first half, Logan, and that's how they built their league. The smaller and faster lineup is the kryptonite against the Cougars tonight.
Baker getting the inbound from Hubble. She'll get it back to Hubble on the right side. Hubble tries to force it down low, but Porter comes up with the steal. Intended receiver on that pass was Allison Trout, and now the Cougars running the other way. Townsley going to get the pass from Mabry baseline. Just a bit too hard. Recker comes up with the board. Baker going to get the play calls being barked out by Coach Kohler. Foresters hold a 43-22 lead with 16:10 remaining in this ball game. Miranda Palmer with the ball, and she will be fouled by Mabry on the reach-in with 16:04 remaining. That's going to be Mabry's first foul of this ball game and the team's second.
I like the aggressiveness by the Cougars being played right now, but when you play aggressive, you also have to play smart, and that's just two things that the Cougars have not been able to combine thus far in the game.
Allison Trout going to get the inbound down low and go up for 2, kissing that one off the glass. Easy 2 points for the Foresters.
Well, you want to talk about smart play. It was smart play by the Foresters right there, being able to just quick inbound and a quick release.
Porter driving in on Trout, throws up a wild shot off the backboard. Trout gets the rebound. She'll get it up to Baker. Baker going to drive left side. Now come back to the middle, go down low to a wide open Palmer. Pass out to Trout for a long 2 from the left corner, and that drops for Allison Trout.
Foresters right now, they are just on a roll and cannot miss. They have scored 8 points thus far here in the second with just under 5 minutes taken, and we will take first media timeout here in the second half. But as I was saying, Logan, Foresters with 8 points here in the second, whereas the Cougars only with 1.
Exactly. We saw the Foresters really come out with a strong spark to start this second half as they lead 47-22. We just seen turnover after turnover from Spring Arbor, and that's due in part of Courtney Baker getting her hands on the ball. She's been very active. We've seen Miranda Palmer and Allison Trout both doing a fantastic job, but let's not forget about Jacqueline Bonema. She does not get as much credit as she really deserves. Bonema down low, already picking up 2 offensive rebounds in this in this second half. She has been a key contributor for the Foresters on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, you want to talk about rebounds, Logan. And the Foresters, they are doing a great job of that tonight. Miranda Palmer with 5. You have Courtney Baker with 6. You have Bonema with 5, and Amelia Recker with 5, and then Eschman with 5. I mean, just all across the board, the Foresters out rebounding the Cougars right now. They have 31 rebounds as opposed to 17 by the Cougars. This media timeout was brought to you by our counterparts here in the Forester Digital Network, FDN News. You can follow them on Twitter at FDN_news.
Courtney.
Excuse me, I was just going to reinforce 31 rebounds as opposed to 17. I mean, something has got to change.
And now we're going to have a shot clock reset here. Should be 23 seconds on the shot clock. Referee's doing a good job finding that and making sure to get it right. There'll be 15 minutes, 12 seconds on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock. Foresters lead 47-22, and it'll be Forester ball out of the officials' timeout. Kelsey Hubble will be inbounding from right in front of her own bench. She gets it up to Baker. We see the 1-3-1 defense coming out from Spring Arbor. We saw it a little bit in the first half. Trout getting the pass in the corner. She'll swing it back opposite side to Baker. She finds Hubble to Recker. Now Baker getting the pass. She finds a wide open Hubble for 3 from the right corner, and that falls for Kelsey Hubble. LV Gogan with the ball. She go find Hoffman. Hoffman gonna get a screen from Johnson. Take a long 3 for the Cougars. It's too hard. Baker tracking down that loose board. Hubble getting the pass quickly from Baker. She'll work it down low to Recker, and Recker will be fouled going up for 2 from the low block.
Well, the thing right now, Logan, that the Foresters are doing and the Cougars are not is ball movement. Foresters being able to pass the ball every which way as Recker going up for her first. And she banks that one in off the rim and the backboard. But as I was saying, the Cougars just not able to pass the ball as many times as the Foresters.
Amelia Recker hitting her second free throw as well, staying perfect for the night and giving the Foresters a 30-point advantage. We see the Cougars running the other way. Quick shot from Conkle, an air ball, a floater in the lane. And it'll be Baker bringing it the other way quickly, getting it to Palmer on the right side. Down low to Trout, and Trout goes up for 2, able to get that layup to drop. The shots just keep falling for the Foresters, staying in their man-to-man defense. Gogan with the ball up top. She finds Conkle. Conkle over to Hoffman on top of the key. Hoffman driving in, trying to hit that one off the backboard, but she will miss that one. And now a foul called on the rebound. This will be Johnson going over the back of Recker.
Although the man-to-man defense is working for the Foresters, you'd think the Cougars, after the man-to-man not working for them the whole game, that they might change it up a bit, but it's just looking like Groundhog Day as Miranda Palmer with another tray. Add that one to the tally. Foresters right now up 57-22. Only 1 point still scored by the Cougars here in the second half.
It's been a dreadful second half as another shot doesn't fall for the Cougars. Baker with another rebound. And the Cougars falling back into man-to-man defense after the made 3 by Palmer. Trout work it down to the low block to Recker. Recker going up for 2 and able to get that one to drop after kissing it off the glass. 59-22, just over 13 minutes remain in this ball game. It'll be Johnson with the ball up top. She hands off to Conkle. Conkle driving left side, dish to Hoffman. Hoffman dribbling right side, finds Bender. Bender will try to drive in, but she will be fouled by Kelsey Hubble.
You could see Hubble smiling off of that one. That'll be her 3rd foul of the game. An exchange of players. We'll see Hubble going to the bench and Eschman coming in for Recker.
We will see Amelia Recker and Kelsey Hubble taking a seat. Allison Trout and Amelia Eschman Brooke Yoder, Miranda Palmer, and Baker are all the ladies on the floor for the Foresters. We see Burnside going up for 2. That's no good. Loose ball gonna go out of bounds now off the miss, and it'll be the Cougars keeping possession. So this will bring Conkle to inbound from the baseline. She'll get to Burnside. Burnside gets it over to Bender. She'll throw a dart down low to Conkle, who gets an easy 2.
Courtney Baker being caught off guard, allowing the Cougars to finally score some points here in this second half.
We see the 1-3-1 coming back from the Cougars, and the Foresters looking to break this as Miranda Palmer has the ball up top. She'll bounce pass over to Yoder on the left side. Yoder getting it back to Palmer, into the corner for Trout for 3, and splish splash Allison Trout hitting another trifecta. It'll be Bender coming the other way, driving in, dish to Conkle. Conkle throwing it back out to Bender, now up top to Gogan. Gogan going off a wild layup, it's no good. Burnside getting the board and going up. Now will be a foul on Amelia Eschman. So I'll put Burnside back to the line to shoot 2. She missed 2 earlier in this half, but looking to convert these 2. And this one will rattle home for Burnside. She'll hit her first free throw of the night. We see Townsley coming in for the first time for Hoffman in this half. It'll be Burnside attempting her second free throw. And that one's too hard off the back iron. Offensive rebound by Gogan. She goes up and is fouled by Amelia Eschman. 2 quick fouls from Eschman. And now put Gogan back at the line.
Well, after the Cougars not scoring any points for the first part of this second half, Cougars now adding some points.
Gogan, a 78% free throw shooter on the season, able to drill the first, looking to put this second one home. And she does. 62-27. Foresters lead with 11:53 remaining in this ball game. Cougars moving back to a man-to-man defense. Baker gonna drive right side, hand off to Yoder. Yoder up top now, going left side. She'll get it to Palmer. Palmer going down low to Eschman. Eschman kick out to Trout, top of the key for a long 2. It's no good, just a bit too hard. Burnside with the board. She gets it over to Bender. Bender looking to run. She'll throw it cross court to Kunkel. Kunkel now in the corner to Gogan, and Gogan will be fouled by Allison Trout on the drive. Now will be the Foresters' 7th team foul this half, putting Spring Arbor in the bonus. That's going to be Trout's 2nd foul of the ball game. So Gogan, who just hit 2 free throws, will go back to the line. She'll be in the 1-and-1. Front of the 1-and-1 drops for her. So we'll see Jacqueline Bonema enter the ball game for Amelia Eschman and the Foresters. Gogan looking to stay perfect from the line tonight. Looking to be the bright spot for the Spring Arbor. As that one gonna be a bit too hard and go off the back iron. Baker with the rebound. She'll get up quickly to Palmer. Palmer down low, she dishes to Bonema, who'll get it back up top to Baker. Baker setting up the offense, driving right side, hand off to Yoder. Yoder goes left side, hand off to Palmer. Down low now to Bonema on the low block. She'll get it to Trout, pops out. Trout will go up for 2, and now won't quite make it. It'll be Townsley coming the other way. Townsley going down low to a wide open Kunkel for an easy 2 and a breakdown defensively from the Foresters. Still 62-30. Foresters lead with 10:45 remaining. Baker gonna get it to Palmer. Palmer dribbling right side, getting it to Yoder. Yoder at the top of the key, now driving left side, hand off to Baker. Baker gonna pull it from the free throw line for a long 2. It's not there. Bonema with the offensive board. And she'll get it out to Baker atop the key, swinging it over to Palmer. Palmer on the right side. dribbling around, trying to get away from Kunkel. She'll throw it now up top to Baker. Baker getting double screen from Palmer and Bonema. Pick and roll action as Palmer left open for three. She'll miss. Loose ball tracked down by Gogan. She'll get it to Townsley, who's coming the other way, and quickly she drives in, dish out to Gogan for three. Rolls around and out. Baker with the board. And Baker gets it up quickly to Yoder. Yoder with the pump fake will get it right back to Baker at the top of the key, and the Foresters slowing things down with a 32-point advantage. Palmer going to get the screen from Bonema, and she'll step back for three and miss. Loose ball hit out of bounds by Burnside, and so the Foresters will keep possession. It'll be Courtney Baker inbounding from the far sideline. Baker gonna drive in now for two, able to get that one off the glass and in for an easy deuce from Courtney Baker. It'll now be Bender bringing it up. She gets it to Townsley. Townsley giving it back to Bender. She'll get it back to Townsley. She'll pull up for a long elbow J. That's no good. Baker with the board. Baker bringing it the other way. Dribbling around. She'll find Yoder in the corner for three. No good. Loose ball tracked down by Trout. And timeout called by Coach Kohler. The Foresters able to get a timeout while on the ground. Allison Trout doing a great hustle play to get to that loose ball.
Well, I think the rising stars on the Forester bench, they realize that they have a commanding lead of 34 points right now, Logan. So they're just trying to show why when next year rolls around, they deserve a starting position.
I definitely agree with that. As the rising Foresters, the young ones that we don't see too often, Brooke Yoder, also Lacey Dietrich, Gina Eisen, all are getting some significant playing time so far tonight. But like you said, Allison Trout doing a great job. She's kind of the seventh man in the rotation for the Foresters, and she's doing a fantastic job. She just might be a starter next year with Courtney Baker going to be lost to graduation.
I could foresee that, Logan.
It'll be Trout to inbound from underneath her own basket. She'll go down to Bonema, and she'll go up for two, and that's good. And one opportunity from Jacqueline Bonema and the Foresters. That foul will be on Carly Bender. That's her third foul and the team's sixth of this half. Bonema at the line for the first time tonight and leaves that one well short, just nipping the front of the rim. And now it'll be Townsley bringing the ball up court for the Cougars. She'll get it to Kunkel, swing pass around the perimeter to Gogan. Down low to Burnside. Burnside with the turnaround and using the bank to get that shot to fall.
Well, that was great defense by Bonema. The hands up in the air and all over number 24, but able to finish the play. And that is the leadership that this Cougar squad needs right now.
Baker getting the ball and working it down low to Trout, who will be fouled by Gogan. So that will be Gogan's first foul of this ball game, and the team's seventh. Foresters and the Cougars both in the bonus, so Trout going to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 with 8:26 remaining. Trout hitting the front half of the 1-and-1 to extend the lead to 35 for the Foresters. Substitution for the Cougars. They'll bring in Hoffman. Hoffman will replace Kunkel. Also, we'll see Mabry come in. She'll replace Bender for Spring Arbor. Trout going to attempt her second free throw of the night. And that one rolls around and out. Bonema, though, with the offensive rebound. She'll kick it to Palmer. Palmer going to throw it back out up top to Courtney Baker.
I'll tell you what, Logan, the Foresters, even though they'll be going to the line quite a bit coming up for the rest of the game, they have to be careful. They don't want to ruin their number one ranking at free throw percentage. So you got to make sure to keep the eye on the rim and get that ball in the net.
We see Miranda Palmer going to get called for a travel. So that'll be a turnover for the Foresters, giving the ball back to to the Cougars. And we'll see a substitution coming in now for the Lady Forsters. It'll be Gina Eisenhut coming in for Jacqueline Bonema. And Bonema getting a well-deserved applause from the crowd here inside Platt Arena. Bonema, as we mentioned in the halftime show, doing a great job getting those offensive rebounds. We saw it in the first half and the second.
Well, we see Gina Eisenhut in the game, Brooke Yoder, Lacey Dietrich. Only person that we haven't seen yet is Miranda White. I'd love to see her get some action.
We would like to see her get in as we see Mabry hitting the layup in the lane. And now it'll be Baker bringing it the other way for the Foresters. She'll drive in right side, run around the baseline, get it to Palmer. Palmer goes in left side, up for two, leaves that layup short. Rebound goes to Porter. Porter will bring the ball up court. She'll get it to Johnson. Johnson up top, goes out to Gogan on the left wing. Gogan draws a double team, gets it to Porter. She's open for three. Too strong by Porter. Palmer with the board.
Cougars now 0 of 9 from the three-point range.
Well, you know, sometimes the shots just aren't falling, and I'd say that's the case so far tonight for Spring Arbor. With the Foresters leading 67-34, 7 minutes remain, and now a hand check foul on Mabry. And that will put Courtney Baker to the line, but first we have our under 8 media timeout with the Foresters on top 67-34. Near 7 minutes to go in this ball game, and Victor, this one's looking all but over.
It is indeed, Logan. I wish, not to toot my own horn, but I wish that the Cougars would have taken my advice earlier in the game and gone away from the man-to-man defense and went more to the zone or a 2-3 or just something different, because if it's not working, then you got to change your stride as the game progresses.
You definitely have to change your stride, but you know, sometimes I'm not sure if the defense really mattered in this case. I mean, you have to score the basketball offensively, and only having 34 points speaks highly of the Foresters' defense. Foresters have a fantastic defense this year. Coach Kohler's done a great job with these ladies, but when you're only scoring 34 points, that also is on the offensive side, and like you said, with Spring Arbor being 0 for 9 from the three-point line, I mean, that's rarely do you see a ladies basketball squad win going 0 for 9 from the three-point line.
Well, not only are they 0 of 9 from the three, but they're only shooting just under 30% for the game. So just not a very good outing for the Cougars here tonight. Once again, this media timeout is brought to you by our counterparts here in the Forster Digital Network. FDN News, you can follow them on Twitter at FDN_news.
It's going to be Courtney Baker at the free throw line for the second time tonight out of this timeout. Baker hit both of them earlier in this game. Looking to do the same with the 1-and-1. And she's able to drill the front half of the 1-and-1. Looking to stay perfect from the line and extend this Forester lead. Baker's free throw rolling around and out. Rebound goes to Johnson and the Cougars.
Well, as I mentioned, Logan, the Foresters, they have to be careful. They cannot ruin their free throw percentage. So right now it's just practice shooting for future games.
Strong rebound there from Trout, but also good pesky hands from Porter to get in there and force the jump ball. And so the Cougars will get possession off the jump ball. Hoffman inbound from her own baseline. She gets it to Mabry. Mabry holding it on the left wing. Throws it cross court to Porter, driving in on Trout. She goes up for two, leaves it short, gets her own rebound, and finishes with the easy layup. And now a full court press coming from the Cougars. Courtney Baker looking to break it. She gets it up past half court. And now a foul will be called on Gogan. Another hand check foul. So I'll put Courtney Baker back at the line. And no, I think that might be on Gogan just because she was getting a little cranky. You know, she was getting a little cranky and you know, wasn't very pleased with how this game was going.
Well, as Courtney Baker hits her first, right after the Cougars scored the two layup, you heard their head coach Ryan Frost just start yelling, "Hey, full court press!" And they were caught off guard, which is why as Courtney Baker hits her second, which is why number 22 got called for that foul, because she just wasn't in the right state of mind.
Well, that is Gogan's second foul and the team's 9th. As we see the Cougars coming back down offensively. It'll be Porter driving in, dish to Mabry, and Mabry, before she can make a move, there'll be a foul called down low on Gina Eisenhut. So that will put Johnson, the freshman, Faith Johnson, at the line to shoot to shoot the 1-and-1. Would that mean Huntington's 8th team foul? And Johnson able to hit the first. And Faith Johnson putting up the second one. Able to hit that one. So the freshman from White House, Ohio, able to hit both of those. We see the full court press coming from Spring Arbor. Miranda Palmer with the ball, working it back to Courtney Baker, who gets it up to Trout. Trout gets it back to Baker, who will hold it near the half-court line with 6 minutes to play in this ball game. Foresters lead 70-38 here at home inside Platt Arena. Baker will drive in right side, go up for two, and is fouled. So Courtney Baker will find herself back at the free throw line after the foul on Porter. And that'll be Porter's first foul and the team's 10th. So the Foresters for the rest of this ball game will be shooting 2 free throws, being in the double bonus. And Baker's free throw gonna rattle around and go in. You don't see that too often, Victor.
Pachinko, something we would say in Japan.
And we'll see Baker converting in a lot similar fashion on the second one, hitting that one right at the bottom of the net. It'll be Mabry coming the other way. She'll go coast to coast. Missed the layup, however. Eisenhut gets the rebound for the Foresters, and she'll get it safely into the hands of Courtney Baker, who will bring it up court. Man-to-man defense by Spring Arbor, as the Foresters look content to try to run the majority of this clock out. Baker just holding the ball near half court until 10 now on the shot clock, and now she makes her move, driving left side. 5 on the shot clock. She finds Yoder in the corner, get it up to Palmer. Palmer going down low to Trout, and Trout will not get the shot off. It'll be a shot clock violation on the Foresters. And now we have a substitution. It'll be Amy Kunkel coming in for Jessica Mabry and the Cougars with 5:09 remaining. Foresters leading this one 72-38. And it'll be Kunkel bringing the ball up court for the Cougars. Foresters staying in their man-to-man defense like they have all night long. Hoffman gets the pass on the right side. She'll take a long three. No good. Rebound by Johnson, and she throws it away. Courtney Baker coming up with another steal. And it'll be Baker just holding the ball again for the Foresters. She looks very content, as we said, to run this clock out. And Courtney Baker making her move now with 10 on the shot clock. Driving right side, dish to Palmer. Palmer with a step back three, just wide to the left. Ball bouncing around. Trout with the rebound, gets it to Baker, who just saves it from going past half court. And the Foresters will get a fresh 30. Baker holding the ball again. This time Kunkel coming out to half court to try to meet her. But I don't think you're going to be able to contain Courtney Baker as she starts her move, getting a screen from Eisenhut on the right side. Baker driving right, goes up for two, and able to get an easy layup. And losing her headband on the way up.
Well, remember what happened when LeBron lost his headband? He went off. So we'll see if Courtney Baker, although late in the game and Foresters leading by much, if she goes off. But that one, it looked rough, but I think that might have been a flop.
It looked like Eisenhut was right there in her position. She was standing straight up, and Johnson looked like she almost ran into her, but nonetheless, it will be a foul. As we see Eisenhut and Baker exiting the ball game for the Foresters. Lacey Dietrich will come in along with Miranda White for the Foresters. So every single Forester will be in the box score tonight.
Always great to hear. No matter what team, you want to let your players get some experience.
Johnson able to hit her first free throw. And so Johnson up with her second free throw attempt. She's able to stay true on that. 3:47 remains. Foresters lead 74-40 here in this Crossroads League matchup. Miranda Palmer bringing it up. She gets it to Dietrich. Dietrich up to Palmer. Palmer just gets it up past half court. She drives in, gets it down low to White. White throws it out to Trout and back out to Palmer, and Palmer will now run some clock. 10 on the shot clock, and this pass will go off the hands of Dietrich and out of bounds. Turnover for the Foresters.
A very young squad out on the court for the Foresters right now, and Coach Culler will take only her third timeout of the game, as I'm sure she wants to talk to this young squad. She has 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores out in the court right now. With that kind of presence, you know, Miranda Palmer, she's looking to be the leader of the squad, as I'm sure she'll be the leader in the coming years with Courtney Baker going out.
You do like that the Foresters have a young squad, which means they'll be even better come next year, but with the absence of Courtney Baker and Amelia Eschman, I mean, this year is definitely a good team for the Foresters. They could make a run at the national championship, making it to Sioux City, Iowa. You never know what could happen. The Foresters ranked 21st in the nation, and they are showing why tonight with this big, what looks to be going to be a statement win against one of the bottom teams in the Crossroads League. But every Crossroads League win has to count. We saw the men here at Huntington take a tough loss last night to Spring Arbor. Spring Arbor only has 2 wins in the Crossroads League, and it's both to the Huntington University Foresters. So the men have some work to do on their side of the ball, but the Foresters, Lady Foresters, seem to take care of business.
It's a year of anything can happen, and it's just fortunate for the Foresters that they have been on the positive end more often than not.
You know, it's interesting to see Miranda Palmer out on the court with Brooke Yoder, Miranda White, and Lacey Dietrich, Allison Trout. All of those are reserves, except for Palmer, probably, you know, arguably one of the best players for the Foresters. It's interesting to see her out there. So we see Johnson with the ball in the elbow. She'll kick it to Gogan for 3. Just a bit too, oh, excuse me, that thing somehow comes back and bounces in.
Well, I'll say it again, Logan Pachinko.
Oh my goodness. Miranda Palmer getting the inbound. She'll get it up to Trout. And for the second time in a row, we'll see a turnover from the Foresters. Can't quite handle Miranda Palmer's pass. And another turnover for the Foresters, and it'll be Kunkel and the Cougars coming the other way. This time, Porter has the ball on the left side. Yoder on her. She'll throw it away. Palmer coming up with the steal. She'll get it past half court. And now slow it down again for the Foresters, looking just to run this clock out. 2:35 remains. Foresters lead 74-43. Dietrich will take a long 2 off the screen from Trout, and that will drop for Lacey Dietrich.
Lacey Dietrich, add that to her highlight reel. A great pull-up shot by the sophomore.
It'll be Gogan driving baseline. She'll go up for 2. It's no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson and the Cougars, so the Foresters getting possession again. And they are continuing with this full court press, not giving up just yet. Palmer gets the inbound. She'll outrun the defense, and then the ball will be hit out of bounds by the Cougars near the bench of the Foresters. So the Foresters will keep possession. Palmer will be the inbounder. She gets it to White, who will hand off right back. Palmer driving left side, going baseline, and a blocking foul on Kunkel will put Miranda Palmer at the line to shoot 2 with 1:58 remaining. Foresters leading 76-43. As we mentioned, Miranda Palmer, an 88% free throw shooter on the year. That is just crazy good so far as we see her drilling the first. Well, Miranda Palmer ranked 10th in Division II NAIA with her free throw percentage. Amelia Recker, number 1. And like you mentioned, the Foresters just as a squad shooting 81%. That's unheard of these days.
Well, I'm going to hold off to what I was saying after she hits the shot. See, I didn't want to jinx her, and I jinx her anyway, Logan. Well, up until that point, she was perfect on the night, but early on in the year, she was perfect from the line for just as many games halfway through the season. So every Forester on this squad, great free throw shooters.
Palmer bringing it up, handoff to Yoder. Yoder getting it back to Palmer at the top of the key. Palmer directing traffic with these young Lady Foresters. Handoff to Dietrich. Dietrich going down low to White. White throwing it down low to Trout. 5 on the shot clock. Yoder gets the ball. She'll take a 3. Splish, splash. Brooke Yoder drilling the 3. And a timeout from Coach Kohler to get in Gina Eisenhut. She will come in for Allison Trout. 1:20 remaining. Foresters lead 80-43.
I saw Miranda Balmer just roll her eyes, saying, "Oh, I want this game to be over." You know, she's worked hard for her money here tonight in Platt Arena, but I'm happy that Coach Kohler has left her in the game, because it's not only good experience for the 4 who are usually on the bench in getting some playing time, but is good experience for Miranda Palmer being a leader, and that's what the Foresters are going to need her to be.
Gogan able to hit her first free throw attempt. Both teams in the double bonus with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining. Like I said, Miranda Palmer being a great leader. She will be the ball handler for the Foresters, and she is the one that directs traffic. And maybe a little bit of glimpse of what we have to see next year when Courtney Baker leaves. It will probably be Miranda Palmer as the primary ball handler.
Well, when Peja Speed left this prior year and Courtney Baker leaving this year, Miranda Palmer, she is definitely prone and up to that challenge.
Miranda White with the ball in the post. She'll throw it out to Dietrich for a long 2. That's no good. And Brooke Yoder tracks down the loose ball. Shot didn't hit the rim, so 5 on the shot clock. Palmer with the ball up top. She gets it to Eisenhut. Eisenhut shoots a 3 and an air ball there. Shot clock violation coming from the Foresters with 39 seconds remaining.
Not a great presence of mind for these young tadpole Foresters. They have to realize that not every shot hits the rim, and just always have the right state of mind.
Palmer coming up with a steal with 29 seconds remaining, and she'll pull it back out. And it looks like the shot clock should be turned off. The Foresters can run this whole time off, but Palmer was going to drive in, and an offensive foul call on Miranda Palmer with an Miranda White with an illegal screen. And so now it will be Hoffman with the ball for the Cougars. She gets it to Gogan. Gogan driving in, and a foul called on the way up. So Gogan will get to go to the line to pad her stats a little more. It'll be Gina Eisenhut being called for the foul. That'll be her 3rd. 80-45, 7 seconds remain. Gogan at the line. She's able to hit the first.
All right, this is what I want to see. I want to see Miranda White get the ball with this last 7 seconds, and then I either want to see her chuck it up and get the long half-court shot, or run down the court and get under the basket and get that too. That's what I want to see her do right now. Let's see some effort. Oh, we're not going to see that. The other Miranda Palmer, going to run out the clock. Foresters finish this game off 80-47 here tonight inside Platt Arena. Don't want to take anything away from the Spring Arbor Cougars. They just were not on their A game tonight. I'm sure the coach as well as the players, they just want to put an asterisk on this one and just throw the game tape out, as they might say.
You got to think that's what they're going to do. Foresters coming up with a big Crossroads League victory here, taking an 80-47 win over Spring Arbor, getting a win that they were favored in from the beginning. But we'll be back shortly with the final stats and an interview from Coach Kohler herself. This is FDN Sports here inside Platte Arena.
What?
And we're back here inside Platte Arena as once again the Foresters ranked 21st in the nation, down the Spring Arbor University Cougars 80-47. Let's take a look at the final stats here inside Platte Arena. Field goal percentage in the Foresters' favor, 45% from the field, 81 from the free throw charity mark, and then 45% from the three-point range. Just looking at the Cougar stats, just really nothing much the Cougars could do tonight.
Well, pretty much this is exactly what happened. The Foresters just shut them down defensively. 29% field goal percentage for the Spring Arbor Cougars. That speaks volumes of the Foresters' defense. Only shooting 9% from the three-point line. They were 1 for 11 from the three-point line. You aren't going to win a ball game like that. We saw that they shot 72% from the free throw line. That's partly due in part of Autumn Gogan, who was the leading scorer for Spring Arbor with 14 points. She went 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Half her points came from the free throw line. Also, we saw 18 turnovers from Spring Arbor. Foresters doing a magnificent job defensively causing those turnovers. They out-rebound them 48-30. And I think the key lady for the Foresters that caused all of this havoc, as I'd like to say, is Courtney Baker.
Oh, absolutely, Logan. Courtney Baker tonight almost having a triple-double, 2 shy in the steal range. She had 8 steals, 17 total points, and she had 11 total rebounds. So just Courtney Baker, game after game, she was the leading scorer against Marion this past weekend. She is definitely having a great senior season. It's not often that you get to say that an opposing team's three-point percentage can be divided into their opposing team. Foresters 45%, Cougars 9%. Just again, Cougars wanting to wipe this one a clean slate for their next game. And then if you're looking at the rest of the Forester players, we have Miranda Palmer. She had 14 points. Allison Trout with 15. And then Kelsey Hubble with 11 of her own. An early ankle injury by Kelsey Hubble, but she was able to come out of the game, sit for a while, due in part to the rest of her team just performing on all cylinders, and came back later and hit a few more threes. So we just can't attest to how great the Foresters performed as a team tonight.
Well, we talked about the shooting of the Force and how Recker and Palmer had been struggling a little bit. Recker comes out and goes 3 for 8 from the field, getting 10 points, 6 rebounds, doing a fantastic job. Also, Miranda Palmer, you said, getting 14 points, but shot 4 for 16 from the field. Not the best shooting night for her, but she did go 3 for 8 from the three-point line. I like that she's stepping back and taking that 3 more often. You really have to like that. Also, Allison Trout stepping up. She's been playing the 4 spot more, an undersized 4, but she went 6 for 10 for 15 points, the second leading scorer for the Lady Foresters. And there were only 2 Cougars that made it to double figures. That was Gogan with 14 and Burnside with 11. It was Kylie Townsley only with 5 points. She was the leading scorer coming into this game for the Cougars at 15 points a game, only getting 5. And that, like we said, talking about the Foresters defense, that's why they're ranked 21st in the nation. Maybe not because of how well they can score. We know that they can score when they need to, but it's because of their defense. And that speaks how the Crossroads League is all about that, who can play the best defense.
Well, they're ranked number 1 in free throw percentage. They're ranked number 8 in assist to turnover ratio, number 8 in three-point field goal percentage, and then number 12 in total rebound defense. So just an overall great performance by the Foresters once again. And as we mentioned throughout the broadcast, they definitely wanted to redeem themselves after coming off another loss against Marion this prior week. And this coming weekend, though, they have their annual Pink Out game against Mount Vernon.
And I know Coach Kohler will probably have more on that when we see her. But also something that we have to look at for the Foresters is that someone that I try to mention as much as I can, because I don't think she gets enough credit, is Jacqueline Bonema. She had 6 points tonight, but she grabbed 7 rebounds. Of her 7 rebounds, 5 of those were on the offensive end. That's 5 second chance opportunities that the Foresters got. And that's just something that her and Amelia Eschman both have worked on. Amelia Eschman had 5 rebounds. She had 2 offensive rebounds of her own. So the Foresters just doing a fantastic job there, pulling down 17 offensive rebounds as a total for a team. And with that, you know you're going to win games.
Well, Coach Kohler now here at Sideline with our sideline reporter, Kelsey Cruz.
Thanks, Victor. Coach Kohler, congratulations on the big win tonight.
Thank you.
After coming off a loss to Marion this weekend, what were you hoping to see your girls improve on for this game tonight?
Well, I think that, we're playing a different kind of team. Marion, in my opinion, is the best team in the conference, at least right now. Spring Arbor, I think they're struggling. They're down in numbers. They've had some injuries. So I think we were looking for the same kind of effort that we put forth on Saturday at Marion. And if we did that, we felt like we would come away with a win. And so I was happy to see us come out tonight and play very aggressively. Courtney, I think, was a big difference maker on the floor tonight. She was 2 steals away from a triple-double tonight, and that's pretty hard to do. Especially at her size. So, but everybody played well and did their part.
Speaking of that, Allison Trout, we've noticed looking at the statistics that each game she just seems to really improve each time and contributing, to statistics into the game. How have you felt about her performance?
Yeah, I don't know. It was probably about 4 or 5 games ago. I just saw her confidence level really spike, and she's just been working really hard on her game, and it's really awesome to see that effort pay off in a positive way for her. The last 2 games, she's gotten a few more minutes than normal too, just because we've gone with a smaller lineup to kind of match up with our competition. And so she was reaping the benefit of those extra minutes, and she was making good use of them.
Absolutely. Now, your annual Pink Out game is this Saturday. What can we look to expect on Saturday event-wise?
Well, I believe at this point in time we have over 20 survivors planning to come.
Wow.
And we're always excited for that day. It's always a special day. It's a feel-good opportunity for our community, whether it's here on campus or within the Huntington community. And it's always a fun day to recognize some people that have had some struggles and have survived. And they're not just surviving, they're thriving. And so we're excited to that's always a game we look forward to every year. And this one's no different. Mount Vernon will be our opponent, and we'll expect a good game out of them.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Coach Kohler, for your time.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Victor.
Thank you, Kelsey Cruz, our sideline reporter, and Coach Kohler, all smiles after her win tonight. 21st ranked Foresters get the win, 80-47 against the Spring Arbor Cougars. And a quick update around the league, Logan. The St. Francis Cougars, they just beat Taylor 64-51. So if I have that correct right now, both Taylor and Huntington are tied in the Crossroads League. So Huntington's last game of the year is against Taylor. So I can only assume that will be a big game for both squads to get home court, as I should say, advantage going into the Crossroads League tournament.
Well, we know the last time these two teams faced off, it was at Taylor, and Taylor pulled off a 79-56 victory over the Foresters. But that was a game we talked to Coach Kohler after that, said she kind of felt like the ladies they weren't there for that game. She feels like the Lady Foresters are better than the Trojans, and she thinks that definitely the Foresters can get that done. And clearly we've seen it tonight with how well they've played.
Well, once again, Lady Foresters beating the Cougars 80-47. For everyone on my crew, Director Derek Zerker, my camera guys, sideline reporter Kelsey Cruz, and the one and only Logan Hunt. I see you checking the Duke Notre Dame score. Your eyes will be glued to that all night. Quick update, Duke beating Notre Dame 60-51 for all those who are like Logan and Care out there. I'm more of a Hoosier guy. But anyway, this has been a Forrester Digital Network production, FDN Sports. We'll see you guys again here on Saturday.